Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk customer experience and stuff still in a hyper caffeinated state. I'm your host. I'm David. I'm the caffeinated CXO. And today we're going to be talking about the day after Thanksgiving. That's right. Brown Friday, as it's known in the home services industry. Why is it called Brown Friday? Probably for all the reasons you're guessing. So, I have an article here from USA Today entitled, "Go ahead and celebrate Black Friday, but Brown Friday is coming, and it's disgusting," by Betty Lynn Fisher. And I had to print the article to PDF, not because it was behind a paywall, because it wasn't, but because the tab on Chrome was using so much data that it was slowing everything down, including OBS, which is what I use to record. So that's crazy. That's nuts. But it was like using 4 gig of data. That was nuts. Everything else uses like a couple hundred meg, but USA Today, we need to have a talk about your website. Joining me today is sugar-free mug root beer, because the grocery store near me had a buy 2 12-packs, get 3 12-packs free. And I was like, hot damn, I'm going to take advantage of that. That is a deal. That'll last me for quite a while in this house. All right. So, let me shrink this down. Let's go the other way. I'm gone. There I am. Okay. Alright, and I apologize for the lack of video game background this week, but you'll get over it. It's fine. Okay. So, forget Black Friday. Let's talk about Brown Friday. It's not exactly what you think, but it has to do with what you think. And now you probably can't stop thinking about it. Are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about it? Brown Friday is so dubbed because it's the day of the year when calls to plumbers spike. The biggest culprit for the plumbing emergencies is clogged kitchen sinks from extra Thanksgiving food scraps. Ooh, mug. But all pipes are connected in the house, said Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, formerly Angie's List. How many times can you use Angie in a sentence? 3 seems to be the record. National searches for emergency plumbing on Yelp the day after Thanksgiving. Last year surged 65% compared with the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Yelp has ranked the 20 most clogged cities in the U.S. based on that data, which we'll get to. Why is it called Brown Friday? Based on clogged sinks and overflowing toilets, Brown Friday is consistently one of the plumbing industry's most busy times of the year. Yelp's vice president of community expansion and trends told USA Today. Imagine being a VP of trends. That's kind of cool. It absolutely has to do with what you think it is. So whether you're having kitchen sink drain issues or toilet problems or garbage disposal problems, we overload our houses on Thanksgiving, and sometimes it just don't work out. In Angie's first Brown Friday survey, 40% of plumbing issues after Thanksgiving are caused by clogged kitchen sinks, often from food waste. People putting things down the garbage disposal that they shouldn't, like turkey bones or rice or potato peels. Things like that. So, 26% of respondents reported experiencing plumbing issues after hosting a Thanksgiving meal. So Uncle Buck, not only did he eat all the green bean casserole and an entire pumpkin pie, well, he literally blew up your bathroom too. Uncle Buck. Uncle frickin' Buck. Can't bring him anywhere. 65% of respondents said they take proactive steps to prevent plumbing issues during the holiday. People are just using everything more. Maybe they'll use one bathroom in their house typically, and they're using 2 or 3 when the whole family shows up. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. Or they just got so much cooking going on that they're overdoing it in the kitchen, and that can result in problems. If you do have to call a plumber on Brown Friday or during the holiday weekend, be prepared to pay some premium rates. All right, so here's the 20 most clogged cities in the U.S. Los Angeles won the top spot, becoming the de facto clogged capital of the U.S. At least we got something going on, with a 73% in plumbing searches during the Brown Friday timeframe, according to Yelp. Searches rose sharply in Los Angeles, particularly for services like plumbing repair, which was up 400%, affordable plumbing up 300%, drain cleaning services up 175%, and emergency plumbing up 100%. Portland, Oregon topped the list last year with a 23% increase. This year, they didn't make the top 20. Womp womp. Rounding out the top 5 most clogged cities were Miami, Nashville, Sacramento, and Baltimore. Why did only one of those have a state attached? Is there more than one Sacramento? There probably is. Vegas, Minneapolis, Minnie Mouse Lips, Providence, Rhode Island, San Francisco, and San Diego, San Jose. What is it with California? Huh. Okay, we get it. Okay, so here's some tips if you're interested, right? Limit what you put down your kitchen sink, right? Don't pour grease, rice, potato peels, chicken legs, turkey legs, stupid shit like that. Don't do it, all right? Encourage guests to use the bathrooms appropriately. Do a courtesy flush. If you're having a plumbing emergency, take these steps. While you wait for the plumber to come, avoid using the backed up drain. And use a bucket to remove any standing water. Know where your main water shutoff is for the house and turn off the water to avoid further damage. That's always a good idea. Always know where your main water shutoff is. Spread out water usage, so don't wash the dishes, do laundry, shower, and run an outside sprinkler all at the same time. Probably a good idea. All right, check the weather. It's not going to be freezing here, but if it's freezing in your neck of the woods, act accordingly. You can prevent potential issues by allowing faucets to drip slightly to avoid freezing pipes that can burst. And let me tell you, there ain't nothing worse than a burst pipe. Sometimes there's nothing better than a burst pipe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. All right, so that was the article about Brown Friday on USA Today. So, yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so here's the thing, man. Brown Friday this year better be busy. I'm saying that for the industry. there's been such a drop and shortage in incoming leads with such a price increase on those leads that a lot of plumbing and other companies are struggling this year. And it's crazy. It's never been like this. So, and I mean, when you're comparing it to, like, the pandemic and the surge that a lot of companies experienced, that was not a pun, and I just realized what I said. But when everyone was under lockdown, and don't let people gaslight you that that didn't happen, because we were all there, okay? They're like, if you're not an essential worker, stay home. I know a lot of people that got laid off. I know a lot of people that lost their jobs. I know a lot of businesses that went under because they weren't deemed essential services. So, but anyway, there was such a surge from everybody being at home and toilet paper being gone. So people were using stupid stuff like paper towels, coffee filters, baby wipes if they could find those, and clogging up their septic, right? Or their sewer lines, which, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Huge surge in installing bidets, things like that. Imagine that. And yeah. So, and that lasted about 3.5 years, right? From the beginning of the pandemic to towards the end of 2023. And that's when things changed. That's when the leads were getting harder and harder to procure, to acquire. Less people were calling in, less people were chatting, right? And consequently, companies suffered two things. One, revenue drops. Two, they had to raise prices, which then gave more. How do I put it gently, lightly? I don't know. Less insured, less licensed, less bonded, less legitimate companies swoop in and undercut the bigger companies that are compliant with state and local laws by thousands of dollars for repairs, right? And you see many cases of that happen. So, and a lot of companies had to make drastic cuts. Unfortunately, usually in their customer service departments or in little perks, benefits, maybe not the best vans anymore, right, for the plumbers, stuff like that, right? I'm not monetized anyway. But the crazy thing is, this is, what the hell was that? I mean, it is what it is, But what are we going to do about it? So, Brown Friday, for a lot of companies, this is like the recovery day for the year, right? Just like a lot of retail stores, where Black Friday was the recovery day, right? So, you get a lot of foot traffic in. You only cut prices by a little bit, and they do well. So if you run a customer service department for a trades call center, make sure you're staffed up on Friday. Now, if the turnout is anything like last year, where across the board, and I've talked to a lot of friends in the industry too, last Black Friday wasn't any different than a normal Monday. So, it is what it is. But it's always good to have more people on staff. You can always offer voluntary time off or VTO if, the call volume isn't there. So, but if it is there, you're going to be happy that you have those extra people. So, I wouldn't say double staff or anything else, but have one or two. Have one or two additional people. So, um, so I mean, worst case scenario, you have to send someone home, right? It's fine. People are going to be in bad moods on the day after Thanksgiving, especially if their plumbing is jacked up. Not everyone has Friday off, and a lot of people have to work. And the last thing they want to do is miss a day of work and have to stay home and wait for a plumber. So be very, very, very transparent with your scheduling. So, the same old, same old. So, you have to prioritize emergencies, and that goes on Thanksgiving as well, right? If your company is open, what's an emergency call? What's an emergency call usually for your company? On Thanksgiving, an emergency call is a backed up kitchen sink, right? So that is the emergency call. A backed up toilet is an emergency call, right? So those need to be handled ASAP. So it is what it is. Um, so if there's any delays going on, you have to over communicate. So make sure you have your best dispatchers on Thanksgiving Day and Brown Friday, just so that you're not rookies. You don't have greens going on the dispatch board on major days like Thanksgiving or the day after. So that's a classic mistake. And yeah, it is what it is. Because a lot of the times your best dispatchers are your best performers. You want to reward your best performers by giving them the holiday off, right? And I'm all for that. But you're going to need them that day. And a few ways you can pay them back is having maybe a half shift, right? Where they're in there during peak times, but they're still able to enjoy Thanksgiving with their family. Or, God forbid, maybe you do a little bit of a Thanksgiving thing on one or both of those days for your employees. I don't know, just a thought. So, here's the thing though. It's gonna be busy regardless, right? Thanksgiving, not so much. The day after, yeah. Historically, is gonna be busy. Searches for plumbing go skyrocket on Thanksgiving and the day after, and throughout the weekend. So it is undoubtedly busy. So yeah, hang in there, do the best you can. And for any of the customer service departments at industries that are struggling this year, which a lot are, and it's by luck that some aren't. So leads are down, everything else. So this is the time of year that a lot of companies can course correct without having to drastically cut people or cut departments or cut costs. So hopefully everything is good, and hopefully, and I feel weird saying it, but hopefully a lot of people misuse their plumbing. Yeah. All right. So if you've made it all the way through this, happy Thanksgiving. I have a merch store. If you want anything from there, I'll put the link down in the description. So, this, that, and the other. Like, review, share the show, comment. It's all good. You can comment on both YouTube and Spotify. Love to hear from you. So, I'll see you next time. Bye.